Hey team, so I just wanted to make this to kind of have a reference for you. So some of you might be done already, some of you might be a little ahead, or maybe you're just using this as a reference to refer back to when you need it. I'm going to show you how you can actually start building your bridge after you completed your template. So you see here, I have a template completed. I have my side, my bottom with the gap in the middle, and then I do have some tops here as well. And over here, I have my bill of materials or cut list, which I will go over again in class, but I just want to make sure that that is complete as well. I will have a virtual or a digital version of this as well. So what you need to do to start building, you need to have your template on your grid paper, right? You need to have your piece of foam core. You need to have your T-pins, your box of binder clips. Not necessarily need that now, but you need to have them, right? Binder clips. You need to have your glue. You're going to want to unpack it like this so you can use it. You're going to need your stick cutter. And then you're going to need your balsa wood, right? So when you do this, what you need to do is first figure out what you're going to start working on first. So I'm going to start working on this side here, okay? So what you need to do is you take your foam core, stick it down. You're going to stick your template over top, and this is what you're going to build upon, okay? But it's really important that you cover it with a piece of your wax paper. Everybody should have 2 pieces of wax paper. So you're going to put your wax paper down over top of your template. Now what I recommend doing is taking 4 T-pins before you get started. Take out 4 T-pins. Push the paper down, and then each corner push out a little bit, and then stick your T-pin in the top of that foam core. And I'll show you in a second once I get it done. In each corner, that way it's going to help hold your paper down, and it's going to help hold your wax paper to your template. So now I have, in every corner, I have a T-pin down, holding the wax paper on top of your template. So now, we're going to start building our bridge on top of our template, right? So there's a couple of ways you could do this. One way is utilizing your cut list. You could go through and cut out all the pieces you need. Or, what you could do is take your balsa wood. Let me make sure I have a pencil. And you can just lay it over top. So I'm going to do the top part here. I need to cut it to this length. Then you're going to take your your stick cutter, line it up. You can see the blade underneath. Line it up to the thing. Chop it down. Save your excess. Move this to the side. Then you're going to stick your piece down. Now, you're going to want to use your T-pins at different points to hold your pieces down. So what I recommend doing is sticking at various spots. So I'm going to go in the front here, and if you see, I'm putting it on an angle so it helps to hold it down. And I'm going to do this throughout the piece. That way the piece doesn't move, because we're going to be, again, building on top of this paper here. So you want to make sure you have it nice and lined up so it's not going to move on you. Okay, once I have that done, then what I can do is I can start doing the rest of it, right? So I'm not going to do the whole thing here, but I just want to show you how you would go about doing this. So say I'm doing this piece that's right here. You would line this, or actually, I'll use this as a marker for now. And again, I'll tack it down so you can kind of see. This isn't the correct length just because I'm doing this quickly for you so you can see what's going on. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page with this before I kind of let you go, / make sure you don't have any questions for me. Okay, so say that's where it needs to go. What I'm going to do is take another piece of my balsa wood, or salsa wood if you're Anthony. And if the piece moves, just go ahead and stick in more T-pins. No big deal at all. There you go. Now let's see how that doesn't move as much. I'm going to take a piece, stick it between here. I'm going to mark it that it needs to be this long. Then I'm going to get my stick cutter. Go ahead and line it up all nice. And boom, here we go. do a dry fit to make sure this is going to fit in between. Okay, and that looks pretty good. Maybe I can trim a hair off. It was pushing out the top a little bit, so I'm going to take just a little bit off. Okay. Now that fits a lot better. Now, when my piece is ready, I'm going to take off the lid to my glue. Be very careful not to get this glue on you. Once it dries, it's very hard to come off. But if you just take a wet paper towel, if you get it on you, and wipe it off as soon as you do, it's going to make your life a lot easier. Make sure you're doing this on a nice big table where you have plenty of space. So take your piece, dip both ends into the glue, and then just go ahead and stick it right where it needs to go. Now, you don't want to drown it in glue, but you want to put enough where it's not going to move. And then take your T-pieces and stick it in between, just like that. Okay, so that's how you're going to do that. You'll notice some pieces are going to be overlapping, so maybe you have an X design. That's fine, except you're going to have to break it up a little bit. So the way we're going to do it, every piece that's under tension, right? So if it's a V, if it's making a V, so this piece here is going to be the entire piece. So we're going to cut a piece that goes this entire way. Now, for the other side, you're going to have to break that up into two pieces. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, it's very, very, very important we do that. I'm just going to continue on and go through, actually, excuse me for a second. For the sides you can go ahead and overlap. So the sides, I will put the piece going to this way. I would just cut and put in here. And then the part that you're going to put over top would be the part that's going down and making a V. So any place that's going down to make a V, you can put it over top. Now on the bottom, you're going to have to do one full side and then cut it into two pieces. Does that make sense, everybody? You have to make sure that your bottom piece is going to be perfectly flat because that's where the road bed goes on. So on the bottom, you're going to want to do one piece going all the way through, and then this part of the X, you're going to cut into two separate pieces. So you're going to have three pieces instead of two, like you're doing for the sides. Okay, that's very, very, very important. Once you get your entire side done, once it dries pretty much overnight, the next day, or whenever you start working on it next, you can just take out all of these T-pins and then carefully pry it up. Now, I recommend you can take out the T-pins of the corner and just using this and going underneath and just prying it up. That's going to make your life a lot easier. And then just keep those to the side. And then when you're all done building everything, then I'll make another video or show you how to put it together. All right, if you have any questions, please send me an email or come to Extra Help and I will gladly assist you, especially if you're all virtual. Coming to Extra Help will make your life a lot easier. You're going to be able to continue working. All right, team? I look forward to seeing you in class or on Zoom. See you later.